This is the first video on Factorising for Year 10 higher classes. What I would like you to do is read the Knowledge Organiser, use this video to work through the examples on page 1, try the questions from page 2 of the Knowledge Organiser, and then complete any maths watchwork set by your class teacher. So, the first thing we're going to look at in terms of factorising is we're going to look at factorising into single brackets. So when we factorise, the process of factorising is putting our expressions into brackets. When we expand brackets, we remove the brackets and we end up with our answers like this. Factorising is the inverse of that. To do that in the single brackets, we have a look at both numbers and we come up with the highest common factor that goes into both of these numbers. So the biggest number that goes into 12x and 18y is 6. What we then do is we put that outside of our single bracket and then we say, what do I multiply 6 by to get to 12x? I multiply it by 2x. What do I multiply 6 by to get to 18y? I multiply it by 3y. And then I put my sign in the middle. I'm factorising in the single bracket because there is a common factor in both of these terms that makes it easy to do that. Okay, if we have a look at our next example, again we follow the same process. We have a look at 3x squared and 2x and we look for the highest common factor. Now, there isn't a numerical value that goes into 3 and 2 other than 1, so it's not going to be that. We look at x squared and x. There is an x in both of these terms, so our highest common factor would be x. What I then do is I take x out and I put my single brackets in. I then say, how many times does x go into 3x squared? Well, it goes in 3x times 3x gives me 3x squared. How many times does x go into 2x? It goes in twice. Alternatively, I can say, what do I multiply x by to get to 2x? I multiply it by 2. And that's all I need to do for that question. For this example, again, start exactly the same. Doesn't matter if it looks slightly more complicated. We work out our highest common factor. I always start by looking at the numerical values. So I say, what goes into both 15 and 10? That would be 5. I then look at my algebraic symbols and decide what goes into both. So x squared and xy has an x in both. So my highest common factor is 5x. So what I do is from my single bracket, I put 5x. I then say, what do I multiply 5x by to get 15x squared? Well, 5 times 3 gives me 15. X times x gives me x squared. So I get 3x. I then say, what do I multiply 5x by to get to 10xy? 5 times 2 gives me 10. X times y gives me xy. So it's going to be 2y. What I would like you to do is use these examples to help you to complete the questions on page 2 of your Knowledge Organiser, and then I would like you to complete any maths watchwork set by your class teacher. Thank you.